Hello, everybody. It's now week 4 in my server on this season, and holy shit, it feels really bad being an elemental build, and it feels really bad being a solo player. Forsaken Giant is completely immune to elemental damage. So my build was basically gutted in the fight. So I'm either going to have to join a party and get carried and probably listen to them bitch about me, then I'm not doing anything. I mean, I can help clear ads that spawn, but that's the most of what I can do. But pro mode, even kind of hard mode, well, no, hard mode felt rewarding because you were guaranteed golds. So I've done a couple of pro modes, and all they do is give me a guaranteed purple on an attribute. The rest is just randomized. Yeah, you could get lucky, get purple, and then get like two blues and a green, but it just feels bad. Like the times that I have done it, I've got a purple and the rest were grays. Cool. Why am I going through so much effort for? Any weapons or armor drops you get out of the game just feel like shit. Like, the only thing that is keeping weapon drops not feeling completely like shit is the calibration blueprints. But the thing is, weapons and stuff, at least from what I've seen, aren't really scaling. I'm still getting purple, blues, and golds with no real difference in rarities. And the difference in rarities, actually, from what I've seen, really depends on what tier of calibration blueprint you get. I've seen gold legendaries give nothing but legendary calibration blueprints. But if they all give the same, it's like shit. Fucking tree ant went from 1.8 mil health to 3.8 mil health. It basically doubled. It's like, cool, now I'm spending the extra resources. They're doing more damage. It's more of a pain to do by yourself. So now I'm just going through more effort for shitty rewards. And then some bosses are just really poorly designed. The spider boss being a really good example. Like, at least I can complete that boss. Fucking Forsaken Giant over here. Me basically stuck with a fucking goddamn pea shooter. Not doing any damage. Like, I went through almost a 1k of shotgun ammo and I probably brought it down 1/6. Or I've went that's when it was close enough range for me to do damage, by the way. I was using my submachine gun. I did, however, pull the ice machine gun out of random roll because I had the build that I wanted. But this gun is a lot of fun. Just not built for it. But to be honest, the only people I have not seen struggle with Forsaken Giant are physical builds. But it also doesn't help that Forsaken Giant doesn't have elemental damage reduction. It's got elemental damage immunity. And the way elemental weapons work is they have reduced damage and reduced outputs so they can do elemental damage. Like, a good example is to look at corrosion. Like, I lose out on damage for elemental damage. That's wrong bench. And that activated for nothing. I didn't even press the fucking key. So let's go to F and craft. When you're hard locked into a build and then you make a boss that's specifically for physical users, it feels like shit. Oh, and then also locking the story for only physical users. I mean, I could do it. I'd just get so frustrated with the game that I'd probably just quit. I mean, I'm a Dark Souls player. Dark Souls feels more rewarding, or all the Souls games. I have yet to play Sekiro yet, but I've played every other one by Mizuzaki. I've played Demon Souls, played Dark Souls 1 through 3. I've played Elden Ring. I've played Bloodborne. They actually made you feel rewarded for beating whatever you were beating. The bosses here, it's like, cool, I gotta kill it multiple times, and all I'm getting is just a pissy amount of loot. And God forbid if you play this game and you just want to enjoy yourself, if you run out of controllers, you can basically just stop doing silos and bosses, because the rewards for not using controllers on them, all I ever gotten was a little bit of stardust and energy. Like, cool. I'm just doing this to just entertain myself, I guess, and waste resources. Like, it just feels really, really bad. Like, I think we're getting to the point where pro mode you need to be in a team in order to do. And I understand that this is supposed to be a social game, but it just feels really bad that you have the option to do solo, but if you're gonna do solo, you're just gonna get frustrated with it. I mean, I don't interact with people that often. I mean, I could just fucking post it out there and see if people will join, but that's just not my playstyle. I mean, I will play with friends, but I really don't like playing with random players. That is just me. I mean, to be honest, like, I'd feel bad for most bounce players unless they're running the bounce sniper rifle that can actually do single target damage. Like, the bosses, the Forsaken Giant, I think they just want you to complete it one time and just be done with it. At least that's what it feels to me. But I don't know, this week just feels like absolute shit. I wish I could contact a support and just basically put my character on season reset already, so I could just move over to where I was having fun with the game. Like, this feels like shit. But I would go over to another server and create another character, but blueprints aren't shared, and it's such a long grind to get those blueprints. I really don't feel like losing them. Like, I know we're getting ready to get account shared cosmetics, and it's probably just a matter of time before we probably get shared blueprints, but, and I understand they've been working on a lot of server stuff, but they really need to do a balance adjustment. Like, corrosion has really good quick bursts, but compared to other PvE guns, just does not have the DPS. Like, it's got a good quick 2 to 3, 4 shot burst damage, but as soon as you're like holding down the trigger, your DPS just fucking falls off in PvE. And I understand this gun is strong in PvP, but to be honest, they need to just give every player like a 30 to 40% damage reduction in element in PvP from what I've seen from videos. Um, where is it? Corrosion. Like, I'm doing 210 times 5, and I've only got 5 bullets. I've got 180 fire rate, but 180 fire rate, like, let's be honest here. This has got the same fire rate. Look at how much more physical damage that gun compared to this gun does. And it's even a burn build. Like, yeah, it might be 2-starred right now, but even then it would be 330 on damage times 6. It might be 2 mag, but there is an option for a reload build on this gun. And being 1 magazine is actually really beneficial for this gun. I don't know, it just Corrosion to me, it's like one of my favorite like builds that I was having fun with. It's just feels like it's completely fallen off. At least in long-term battle parts. It's still doing good in PvP because it's got such a good short burst of damage. But I think that's more or less that just elemental damage across the board just needs to be reduced versus other players. Or at least from what I've seen, I haven't done really much PvP besides cargo holds. And if my gun gets nerfed, it's just going to be even worse in PvE. What they need to do is like, if they're not wanting to give players elemental resist, the damage on this needs to be lowered by a bit. And then the fire rate, magazine capacity, and reload speed need to be increased. Like, the fact that the fire rate is same as this is stupid. Like, this should be at least a 260 for an automatic shotgun. I don't know. To me, it just feels bad. I don't know if I've locked into the wrong PvE style weapon and it's just bad for PvE, but I'm feeling it in pro mode right now. Like, it does really good on small enemies, but as soon as it becomes a prolonged fight, corrosion just falls off real hard. And I'm sure there's other elements struggling right now. So let's see here. 228. So that's 204, but you're doing shrapnel. But shrapnel works on that boss. That's the thing. Like, you've got Outsider. I mean, they're doing good physical damage. But the thing with Fast Getter and all that, if that physical damage isn't being negated like all the element. Like, a good example is like the Predator, which is the LMG that my friend uses. It's got a fire rate of it has a fire rate of 700. It has all the components. Has like 130 mag almost. Yeah, he might do 188 damage, but with his current build, he's doing 4K a shot. And you know my Peaslee ass SMG on physical damage does 400 to 600. So he's basically doing 4 times the damage amount than I can do to a Forsaken Giant. Like, it's fine, because I know what they were wanting to do. They probably was like, well, a elemental build is just going to eat through this boss because you could just aim at whatever part. That's fine, but you need to have reduced damage, not immunity. Because you basically just told my build to just fuck off and just, if you don't have a physical build, you're basically useless. Like, at this point, I probably should just run a Wrath of Hades to see if I can even do anything. Like, I'd probably be better off switching over to Black Panther, doing 100k a hit on a build. I mean, I've got those options, but it feels bad when I'm already this far into a build. Like, I've got almost full shelter set with gas mask hood, and you're telling me I'm not able to fight against this boss because of my build? And when how expensive Starchrome is, it kind of if you're going after a build, it kind of locks you in to one build with the amount they give you at this point. I don't know, man. It just feels like shit. But let me all know how you guys feel about it. Thank you all. See you later.